Today is garden tilling day, although there are some questions about why I'm not done with my garden yet, and I'll tell you why. Example is, we have a frost warning for tonight. I wonder what these are. That's not normal little bumblebees. There's a mess of them. All kinds of them here. Oops, flew away. There's all kinds of those little guys, whatever they are. It's like a tiny bumblebee. It's weird. Tiny little things. They're thick through here. Anyway, so we have a frost warning for tonight, which is annoying. What I've done is taken one of my raised beds from last year and I've spread it out throughout the row. I've marked with some bamboo stakes the outer edge of the row. So where I'm standing right now here is going to be a walkway. I'm seriously thinking about putting weed barrier up, just so for one, I have a very clear line marked out where I'm going to walk. I know some people say it works, some people say it doesn't work, but this grass is not acceptable. This is really tall grasses here, and I have to do something about it. And if I don't till it, and otherwise I'll have to mow it, but that means I'll have to get the rocks out, and the rocks are supposed to be my border. I'm going to use mulch later, but that's going to take a long time to get enough mulch to kill this off. It has to be 4 inches thick, and I just don't have the time to mess with that right now to make my own mulch that thick. Not yet. I'm going to have enough work going on here. So anyway, I've got the border of the row. It's going to be 3-foot walkway, 4-foot row, and I've gone just outside the 4-foot border so my tiller can cut off the edges well enough. And so all the way around is going to be a 3-foot walkway, 4-foot row, 3-foot walkway, 4-foot row. So I'm going to take all my raised beds and scatter them in the 4-foot rows as I go along. So yeah, again, I'm not quite sure about the rocks there, how I'm going to deal with that. That sidewall is going to be a mess. Well, I'm going to get my tiller out and till this section, at least for now, and step by step work my way through this garden. I'm hoping to plant by Thursday. Somebody said adjust the tiller because it's running rich, but I can't find an adjustment screw in the carburetor. There's no screw. So there is one up on top. Yeah, I'll try it. See. We'll see what that screw does. Because yeah, it's running sort of rough. If not, I'm going to put some seafoam in it, some more gas, and run it through. I thought there was a screw in there, but that's only the idle screw. There's no adjustment screw on this thing that I can find. There's nothing. This is the simplest little carburetor I've ever seen. There's nothing there. I guess it's just a fixed carburetor. I don't know if you can see down in there, but there's nothing to it. No screws. So I guess what I'm going to do is put some seafoam in there, put some fresh gas in there, and run it. See what happens. Well, it's really slow going. In about 30-40 minutes I've got one row done. I mean one swipe with the tiller. This end of the garden is softer and smoother, although there are occasional rocks in here. That's just one sweep through. Now down here it got really bad, and I pulled all of this out from just here to there. So I have to go dump the wheelbarrow load before I can go on, because that's getting really heavy now. I'm going to put that on the outer perimeter. I think I'm going to start on the front row and make that look better first, and then work my way around with whatever materials I have left later, because the front row is the first thing people see anyway. Well, I'm running through it the second time, and it's really smooth now. It's amazing how the difference is after getting the rocks out. That makes such a nice difference now. Getting those rocks out, that sure is smooth. Well, the tiller's working well. It's doing its job. I have to run it on mostly choke though, so I definitely have to clean this carburetor. There's no adjustment screw, so I have to take it apart and clean it. Hopefully the seafoam will help clean it out, but we'll see. I've got one row done. Now I'm going to restake it because I had put the stakes out a little bit further outward so I could till and make sure I got inside the edges. But it's very clean, very fertile, very nice soil, very nice. That's 1 4-foot wide, what's going to be a back to Eden style raised bed, and then a 3-foot wide walkway here, which is plenty for me to walk through along the edges. Now I have to figure a way to get these weeds and grasses down around these edges without harming anything. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up using the weed barrier just to make sure it's done. I know some people say it's no good, but I gotta do something here, because this is wild meadow. This is not your average garden. This is wild meadow I'm trying to take over. And there's actually trees trying to grow up in this stuff. Look at how tall this grass is. It's up above my knees. There are trees trying to grow here. I don't know where that came from. That wasn't there last year. I mean, it grew up over the year, but still crazy. So anyway, I think that's what's going to have to be done, is the barriers, and then putting the rocks down, and then putting mulch on top of that, because it's going to take me forever to get the mulch down with my homemade mulcher. Just time wise, it's just going to be a lot of work. So I want to get this garden staked out, laid out, and looking right so I know where my borders are. So I'm going to remeasure and reset some of these stakes at the 3-foot and 7-foot lines so I know what's what. And do another row. Now that's going to be a lot of work right here because, look at the babies. They found something over here. They're also figuring out who's who and who's boss. But it's cool to see the little chicks running around. Anyway, I was saying it's going to be a lot of work because all this material I want to spread out among the raised beds. I don't want to waste it. So I'm going to scatter that around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more piles among my raised bed garden rows. So that each one of those is a good solid wheelbarrow full. So it's going to be a lot of work getting this whole row out, and that's right where I've got to till next. So I've got to move that first. So I have to measure out where my rows are going to be and then move that into the rows. So that's the next thing right now. I have 7 4-foot wide bed areas that I'm going to have when I'm done. And amazingly, from that side, without planning it like this, all the way over to this side works out, where I started out with a 3-foot width, a 4-foot row, a 3-foot space, a 4-foot row. I ended up with a 4-foot row and a 3-foot space at the end. I cannot believe this, how it turned out. That's almost 3 feet. It's just a little bit more. So it works out perfect. And I've taken my compost. This is the stuff I picked up last year, and I'm dumping it in rows where I'll be tilling to work it in. I'm also going to take, I know people have mentioned it, I did say I was going to do this, but I know there's so many videos people lose track. I'm going to take this stuff and mix it in as well this year. This is that cow pasture. It's now aged nicely for a year, and that's going to be mixed in here as well. So before I plant, I think what I'll do is let everything rest a day or so, and until one more time with that manure on top. Each row before I plant, I'll put manure on top and till it in, and then plant. So hopefully if I can get the earth broken down, all of the earth broken today, and then manure tomorrow and plant Thursday. That's my goal, if the weather allows. I don't know about that. But I've got this all marked out where the rows are going to be for now, at least on this end. I still have to go down to that end. I'm thinking about, I've got a couple of these left, which will make a perfect row marker. If I can use 4 of these, all I have to do is put them up on the outside edges of my row and stay between the strings. Put strings on top and stay between the strings when I work. And this will be the last row I do, because this is where I'm working from with the mulch. I also need to keep that row there. That hill is going to go and be used around my trees later on. But you can see the mulch is already settling around my berries and vines from, what, 2 weeks ago? It's already settling down quite a bit. So I got to start making mulch again pretty soon and remulch my berries and grapes. A lot of work. I just can't believe how much there is to do. It's always something going on, and this is just with the garden. The garden alone is a busy job. It's huge. Now I've got, pulling out my rocks, what I'm doing, I've got landscaping rocks. I'm pulling out some rocks for landscaping, and the small stones and stuff are going on under the electric fence. So the nicer, bigger ones are going in little piles here and there. Actually, those are coming out for landscaping and getting set aside. And that'll build my wall, my rock wall, like I did here, over around that rock. So that'd be nice. Those bigger, these came out of the dirt over here. These gigantic monsters. Look at the size of that. That's crazy amount of size of rocks. And yes, this was a potato field, but I think the big point being that it was done with a tractor, and tractors don't care about rocks like that. And I think it must have been hand done. I have to ask, because this was a potato field. They've told me that again and again and again, so it must have been picked by hand. Otherwise, machines would have cleaned this up years ago. Well, must be time for a break. I nearly got through this second row. Now what I did, I skipped this row because I'm working the mulch out of it, and I'll come back to this row. So there's the 4-foot wide row, a 3-foot strip, a 4-foot row, a 3-foot strip, and a 4-foot row. I was almost to the end, and all of a sudden my belt flew off, which is weird. Look at all the rocks I've pulled out of here. Now, I found it's easier to toss the rocks in the middle in piles and deal with them later than it is to move that wheelbarrow back and forth. It was just too much work to try to run a bucket or a wheelbarrow around. Just forget it. It's too much trouble. I was stopping and moving that thing continuously and then emptying it. So I'm not doing that anymore. It's easier to just toss them and deal with them later. Put them out in the middle rows and clean them up in a different time. Because I want to till. I don't want to play with rocks. I want to till. But anyway, it was doing an awesome job. It's really digging in. This is the second run right here through this strip. I went through I went through one run across 3 rows, and then I was coming back down this way on the second run on the first row, and that's when the belt flew off. I'm not sure why that happened, but I'll have to open it up and take a look. But anyway, I think it was time for a break because this is back-breaking work. This is really exhausting, and I think I'm going to have aspirins tonight when I go to bed, because last night I was hurting just from digging and lifting rocks and carting rocks and all that. So I don't know. It's just exhausting out here. But I plan to finish tilling today. It's 2:45 in the afternoon, and I've got, let me see, this row will be easy to finish. I've got another hard row. I've got 1, 2, 3 more hard rows to do. Figure 3 good hours of work on them, and then a couple easy rows. Just redoing those is easy work. So that won't be so bad. 3, 4 more hours to break the earth, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'd be pushing it. I'll be lucky if I get done tonight. I still have to move all that mulch and till it into the soil as I go. So maybe I'll finish tomorrow with the tilling. We'll see. I've been thinking, because I'm not going to have enough rocks to cover the whole perimeter, and it's going to take forever to do the mulch, because my mulcher machine is a fine mulcher. It's perfect for garden mulch, but not for heavy work like this. I'm thinking I might just clean the rocks out of here when I'm done, and until I can afford to get mulch out here, time-wise that should be, or I find somebody that wants to dump it, just keep this mowed in the middle, and then I can always rake the mulch from the mowing off into the garden area for fertilizer. The more I walk on it, of course, the more it's going to be compressed, which is good. But you can see in some places, like right here, there's quite a bit of tall grasses growing. I don't know if you can see the height of that, but it's pretty tall. And that's going to take some work to pound down, especially over here along the edges. So I might be better off just raking off the rocks away from the edge for now, and then keeping that cut down with the weed whacker until I get it mulched. Because that'll be the cheapest way to go. Just keep it down. It's going to be more work, but the cheaper way to go. Well, anyway, I have to figure this tiller out and fix it. And then hopefully finish up. Well, Craftsman tiller is doing the job. I had to put the belt back on. I don't know why it slipped off, but it did. And I finished this. This is some nice earth. Good stuff. So I still got 4 rows that haven't been broken up, and then 2 that have. So it's going to be some work yet. Hope I get it done before the end of the day. It sounds like Chris, my neighbor, is coming, so I can hear the lawnmower engine running. So I'll go see what's up. Well, I only just got this segment done, and it's 6 o'clock, but this is done twice through. Wow, it's about 2 hours per row. 2, 4, 6. Plus shoveling all the stuff in the middle. 2 to 3 hours, about 3 hours. 3 hours per row. I've only got 3 rows done today. Pretty insane. Well, that's because of these rocks and a couple hiccups along the way and measuring my rows as I go. It's just a lot of work. Crazy. So I've still got, these rows are going to be easy. I'll do them tomorrow, no problem. These 2 that I already have broken up, that's no problem. I've got 2 really hard ones yet to do. That one's never been done, and this one over here has never been done, where all the raised beds are. So those are going to be really hard going yet, and then I've got the 2 easy ones. So I'll get it done tomorrow. I thought it'd be done today, but it just isn't happening. And in this whole thing, I'll tell you what, this is actually not old. It's not old at all, but let me show you Sears Craftsman quality today. That was spot welded. Spot welded. So I threw a belt already today and had to replace it, or had to put that back on. And then my spot welds came off on the handle. I mean, are you serious? Spot welds? I would expect a little bit better. Sears Craftsman back in the day was a name, high quality name to trust. And now it's just another Chinese piece of garbage, I guess. sad, because I honestly, that came off when I was just going through the gentle soil after I had tilled it, and I hit a rock, boom, snapped it. But it wasn't even on there, honestly. I don't know if you can see the piece of spot weld right there. It was barely on. It was barely connected at all. I can't believe it. I seriously would expect better from Craftsman. So tomorrow, first thing, I'm going to be boring a hole through here and putting a bolt through. And I'd like to, I don't have a welder, but it'd be good to get that welded and bolted just for extra reinforcement, because obviously you put a bolt through there and then it's going to mushroom itself out with time, and then the whole handle's going to break in half. So actually, I might put 3 bolts through. 1 through the shaft and 2 through the shield. I might just do it like that. Do it right and be done with it and have this thing strong and steady. Well, that's a disappointment. Because you can tell that thing only went through its first change of oil when I got it. That thing was brand new. Unbelievable. Anyway, that's it for today. That's it. Tomorrow morning I'll get up early and I'll tackle that and fix it. So, time to clean up, put away my tools, and be done. Speaking of tools, some people were talking about how I leave my tools laying around. Well, I don't usually. Every single night I put away all my tools. Every single day when I'm done, I put my tools away. Now, for now, my lawnmower's out here, but it's out of the rain that way. This shovel, some people had mentioned and saw I left out for a while there. I found that in a forest, and it was out in a forest 10-20 years before I found it. I figured, well, didn't hurt it that long, so I left it out. But obviously, since I do videos and my life is in front of the world, I have to be a better example. So even though I found that in the forest and it didn't cost me a thing, I'm keeping it out of the weather. This truck camper has quite an overhang. So I'll be a better example from now on, even if it is junk. I mean, you know, from the forest, but I'll take care of things. Now my good tools and everything, they're in the tents, and they stay in the tents, and as I said, every single day my tools go away. Every single day when I'm done working, everything goes away. The wheelbarrow, by the way, I am taking care of the wheelbarrow. It got rained on one day. That was my bad. I didn't expect the rain coming that day like that. But this thing I found in the forest. And that's a Sears Craftsman. That was back in the day when when Craftsman brand meant something. And this is actually going to last my whole life. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the Rhino coat in here. That Rhino bed liner in here. I have it's True Value Hardware. I got mist tint outdoor paint for decks. I'm going to paint the handles, and I've got some black paint I'll do on the sides, because that's got a brand new wheel that I put on it. So, and then I'll just paint the whole thing. This is definitely worth taking care of, and I'm gonna. And I'll do that on a video one day. But I think that's a heavy-duty workhorse and well worth saving.